Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Coronacast Comedy Show. Here with me, Deliso Chaponda. If it is the first time you are tuning in, this is a show where I, Deliso Chaponda, entertain you, people of Facebook, people of Twitch, people of Instagram, people of YouTube, until such a time that I can do live entertainment. I'm keeping myself sane by doing these daily broadcasts. This is episode 121. Who knew it would go on that long? When it was March the 8th, I thought I'd be doing it for 3 weeks. Here we are, 4 months later. Okay, so today's episode is jokes from audience suggestions. So over the course of the day on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, people have put up subjects that they want me to make jokes about. And what I'm going to do is I am going to make those jokes about. Oh, hello. Close your cupboard, says Mariam Sheikh. Okay, I will. It's always funny when I forget to close my cupboard. It makes certain people have like OCD. They're like, shut that cupboard. Okay, so the cupboard is shut and we're here now. A lot of the joke suggestions, a lot of the joke topics suggestions came later on. They came around, 6 p.m. and I don't have time to write those jokes. So those topics will be on Monday's episode. But we've still got a good episode coming up. What's coming up is we've got jokes about customer service, jokes about TV shows, jokes about whole bunch of stuff. So in between each joke, I'm going to say hello to the people. Hello to D-Pole Official. Good to have you here. Hello to Sean A. Oh, you need to DM me about my Patreon. Okay, excellent. Good to know. Actually, people who are my Patreon supporters, I apologize. Thank you for the support. I haven't been giving you Patreon exclusive content, which is meant to be part of the deal because it takes me so much time to just write this show. Hello, Jacqueline. Good to have you back. And hello, Jem. Okay, let's get started. First subject of the day was a suggestion by Victoria JL. Victoria JL has asked me to compare customer service, politeness, and political correctness around the world. So not one thing, giving me a list of things to write about, okay? A list. But it's very interesting because I cannot make an astute comparison of what it's like in different countries other than what I personally have experienced. So I tried to think of the best customer service and the worst customer service, the most polite and least polite, and the most PC and least PC that I've personally experienced, and funny examples of them. So I'll start with customer service. First thing I will say is I went on a holiday to Mauritius, like a romantic holiday. I took a young lady and I have never had such astonishing customer service as I did in Mauritius. It was crazy. You could order a massage to your room. That when we arrived, like somebody just appears out of nowhere like a genie with a cold beverage. It was absolutely astonishing. But in retrospect, maybe it was because Mauritius has the best customer service in the world. Or it might also have something to do with that I have never paid so much for a holiday in my life. So it was either Mauritius or it was the money, right? And then when it comes to the worst customer service and the least politeness I've ever received, it was actually in the UK, in England, even though they've got this reputation for politeness. Oh, the people who are not polite are so impolite. But on the subject of politeness, I actually think the most impolite thing that anybody ever does is when they remind you to be more polite. Do you know what I mean? Like when someone says, if you ask for something and someone says, you didn't say please, I feel that person pointing out that you should have said please is actually more impolite than the person just asking for the thing. You know what I mean? Because it's so obnoxious, right? And that happened to me in a store at a restaurant in the UK. So far, Mauritius is winning on the customer service, and the UK is losing on the customer service. But again, I paid thousands and thousands of pounds for my Mauritius holiday, and I paid approximately £8 for my meal in the restaurant where they were impolite. So maybe the money has more to do with it. Glad you enjoy the shirt, Dana. How are you doing, Dana? I hope you are enjoying our bizarre lockdown, and thus comedians like us have to do this sort of thing. Okay. And then when it comes to political correctness, my general guideline, what I have discovered from performing in many different countries in Africa, in Europe, in America, all over the place, I generally think there's this weird guideline. If you don't want to get in trouble and you're performing in most African countries, right? Again, I've got to generalize a bit. Most African countries, you can make fun of groups as much as you want, be it like a race, be it a sexual preference, be it a religion. Make fun of groups as much as you want, but you'll get in trouble when you make fun of single powerful people. Be it, don't make fun of Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe, or don't make fun of, like, don't make fun of the leader of the country, or don't make fun of this powerful prophet who people love. You know, if you do a TB Joshua joke or a Hubert Angel joke, that's when you get in trouble, when it's individuals. And then in countries like the UK, it's flipped, right? You can make fun of individuals as much as you want. Make fun of the Queen, make fun of the Prime Minister, make fun of anyone. But when you make fun of groups, right? When you make fun of a group, that's when people get upset with you and feel that you're being prejudiced. So that's what I've got to say. I don't think either place lets you say anything you want. It's just individuals versus groups. Okay, let's go on to the next suggestions. Okay, excellent. Good to have you here. Let me look at the comments. If you have any questions, ask away. What is trending USA? Trending USA. What is trending, Jem? I didn't see what you were asking about. Oh, suggest a topic. Ahmed Rami, your topic is coming up later, right? Your topic is coming up later. Ahmed Rami, I believe you suggested Simps. So don't worry, your suggestion is coming up later, Ahmed Rami. And you're saying, in impression, we're supposed to suggest unfunny stuff I can make funny. No, actually, it's the opposite, Ahmed. I don't care what it is. It can be something that is funny, something that isn't funny, just something you want to hear jokes about. You suggest, and I do it. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what we've got to say. You're just in your bra, Jacqueline Boylan. Okay, you are titillating. You're titillating us who are watching the show in this heat. I understand, but I've actually got air conditioning of a sort, so I'm cool in my flat, hence why I have got this sweatshirt on. Hello to all the people on Instagram waving at me. I wave back at you. I wave back at you, Ellen Williams. I wave at you, the Lau Labib. Okay, let's move on to the next subject, which was requested. Okay, next one was at Alive Toblerone, who is the living Toblerone, who has made many suggestions over the years of the Coronacast Comedy Show, has asked me to talk about what is better, original TV shows versus the remakes. And I'll tell you what's interesting. Most of the time, the original is better. In fact, that's why they're remaking it, because the original is so good. However, on those occasions where you happen to be the only person or a person who watches a remake and likes the remake better, tell people at your peril. People are so religious in their dedication to how the old version is better that they will spit in your face. They will swear at you if they find out that you like the remake better. This also applies to if you're someone who reads a book, watches a movie, and you prefer the movie. Oh my God, that is sacrilege. Like, I preferred Interview with the Vampire, the movie, to the book, and it was both written by Anne Rice. You have no idea how I got ostracized out of the little, like, vampire communities which I was part of. Yes, I'm not like we wore fangs. Like, it was an online groups, and they were just like, oh, how dare you prefer the movie? This is the thing. If you happen to have the sacrilegious view that something which is a remake is better than the original, keep it to yourself, okay? Keep it to yourself, or you may find yourself ostracized. They may put you in a Wicker Man, right? They will put you in a Wicker Man in punishment, but it won't be a remake Wicker Man. It won't be a Nicolas Cage Wicker Man. It will be an old school Wicker Man a la Donald Sutherland Wicker Man, because they are purists. So that's my thoughts of that. Now, in the chat, tell me if there is a remake that you prefer to the original. Let me know if you too have got this viewpoint with something. I think we can all agree Battlestar Galactica, the remake, was better. Is there anything else? What was a remake that you prefer? Commando Cartoon says, where is the panda? Oh, you've not observed the panda. If you look behind me, you will see that the panda is wearing a moose hat. So underneath that moose hat, there is a panda. That's what's going on with the panda, to people who are wondering, where is the... Lucy Waddington says Dynasty is better. Dynasty is a better remake than the original. That is interesting. Okay. How are you doing? Don't make fun of Ryla, says Bhavan Raj. I don't know what Ryla is, so I probably won't make fun of it. Excellent, excellent. Try and make one on Zimbabweans' lives matter. So I forgot to explain. This is jokes from audience suggestions, but you don't make up jokes off the top of your head, right? So what is going on is people over the course of the day told me what they want me to make a joke about, what they want me to talk about, and that's what I'm doing. But Zimbabwe is coming up because somebody made a suggestion about Zimbabwe. It's not about Zimbabwe Lives Matter. It is about something else. Okay, how are we doing? Good. Question, have I read War and Peace? Yes, I read War and Peace, and I enjoyed War and Peace, even though it was something which I was forced to read by my school. I actually found I enjoyed it quite a bit. Sam Mark says, wear the mask, don't wear a bra, free the titties and save the city. I'm not sure of the truth of that, but I find that very funny. And you prefer the remake of Halloween. Excellent. Oh, KNB, I'm very glad I'm your inspiration. Are you a comedian wannabe? If you are, good luck on the comedy. Good luck to you. And hello to Sue Morris. Okay, let's keep going. Next suggestion, which I got to make jokes about, was Zimbabwe, as we explained. Abel, oops. Okay, so that's there, but I need to remove Abel's comment. How do I remove Abel's comment? Okay, there we go. So, at Bambo Kanyemba asked me to talk about the change Zimbabweans were expecting after Mugabe. Now, this is a thing which happened in a lot of African countries, right? Happened in Malawi right now. When a leader leaves or is forced out, when a leader leaves, and there is a new person who comes into power, there's a lot of excitement that things are going to be different. Everything's going to change. And with Mugabe, this was like when Mugabe was forced out of power by the military. If anyone doesn't remember, the Zimbabwe military came on television and said, this is not a coup. We're just taking over, but this is not a coup. This is not a coup. And the rest of the world were like, it kind of looks like a coup, right? You got tanks rolling down the center of the city. What's that, a Christmas parade? Are they going to come out later and say, hey, this is Santa Claus with an AK-47? Basically, the military took over, and then they observed a transition of power, and it went from Mugabe to Mnangagwa. And Zimbabweans were extremely happy. A lot of people had got tired of Mugabe. A lot of people felt his regime was repressive, and they were celebrating Mnangagwa going to change that. Mnangagwa going to change that. Okay, that wasn't their chant. That's my chant. But there was, they were chanting in some way to show their delight and their celebration, and they had so much hope that things would be different. So much hope that things would be different because people had just been dreaming for years. Imagine Mugabe left. Imagine Mugabe left. Imagine Mugabe left. Only problem is the replacement for Mugabe, if you actually put them down on paper, not that different, right? Same party, ZANU-PF, right? Same sort of ethos, same sort of attitudes. What really changed? And so there's been a lot of disappointment. It's almost like, imagine you break up with somebody, right? You break up with somebody who is a flight attendant, a blonde flight attendant who you met, and you start dating a new blonde flight attendant who's around the same height, around the same shape, around the same way of talking, but you're expecting it to be different, right? There was a change, but there was a change from one version of something to a different version of something, and some people are even more disappointed because they're like, well, Mugabe started out great, and then, over the years he got bad. Mnangagwa's just been bad, right? I don't know if Mnangagwa's just been bad, but I'm quoting what I've read people saying. And there's that huge heartbreak when you've put so much hope in someone. You're thinking, this is going to change everything, and then nothing changes, right? And so what you actually need is you need real change, right? You need to go from someone like Mnangagwa to someone like me. Yes, Zimbabweans, I actually think if you want true happiness, Daliso Chaponda needs to be your next president. Now, I know there are a number of problems, like A, I'm not Zimbabwean. B, I have no economic experience. I am a comedian. But hey, I've got a dream. It's going to happen. I'm going to save you. Okay, say my name, please. Say your name, please. Scott Greengrass. I just said your name. How you doing? Atigan. I may have messed up saying your name. Adit Yaganesh 96. Glad you enjoy my comedy. And hello, let's go to the comments here. See what people have to say. In the Philippines, you call that people power. Indeed, people power is when they take over, when people rise up. People rise up. Oh God, Philippines 2020. You're right, Alexis, right? So maybe I can actually think my talents should not be wasted on one nation. So let me come be the president of Zimbabwe for 1 year, and then next year I'll take on Philippines, and I'll just move around from country to country, sorting out your problems. Okay, that's my plan. Excellent. Daliso for president. Indeed, Yanalchi. Indeed. LOL. Thank you so much, 2FC Luke Witten. I'm glad you enjoy the jokes. And Commander Cartoons, I'm your second favorite comedian after the Panda. I fully understand. The Panda is very hilarious. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us keep going. Calamo Bar says, I'm the first comedian that you actually really enjoy. You're not usually into comedy. Well, if you enjoyed me, there are other comedians you should try. Brilliant comedians. Take a look at Chris Rock. Okay, take a look at some people. Take a look back at George Carlin. They've been amazing voices of comedy. I don't know if you've given them a taste. Take a look at Joan Rivers. Take a look. There's so many magnificent comedians, alive and dead. Good luck finding them because comedy is so good for the soul. Okay, let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, people of Twitch, people of Facebook, people of YouTube, wherever you may be watching me. Let's keep going. Next suggestion was from John Koroma. Luckily, John, your name is not Corona, because people would be running away from you right now. Okay, so John Koroma wanted me to talk about reality shows, right? About reality shows. And the interesting thing, I think, about the subject of reality shows, John Koroma, is that right now, Corona might have destroyed most reality shows' ability to entertain us, right? Because think about it. How are we going to go watch Big Brother or something like that, where it's right, a few people stuck in a house for around a few weeks? They can't go out and they can't talk to anyone else. That's every single one of our lives right now, right? Love Island, a bunch of people, lonely people looking for love. That's all of us, right? I feel like reality shows never actually were purely real. Now they're truly real because we are all in the reality show, which is COVID-19. We're all in that reality show. It's a terrible reality show. I don't know who's going to be voted out, but hopefully I won't be voted out because I am not enjoying the COVID-19 reality show. Oh, my Lord. Hello to TVGR. Good to have you here. Kian B, 2005. Deliso for president. And you are right, Callum. The world is becoming, reality shows are becoming reality. Okay, what have we got here? The comedian for people who don't like comedy, Jacqueline Boylan. I might be that. Indeed, indeed. Let's see. What have we got here? 2020 sucks, says Jem. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. Alexis says, you want to hear one about TikTok? So TikTok is probably going to be on next episode because the someone asked me to do a joke about Trump versus TikTok, but they asked me after 5 p.m. So I'd already finished writing for this episode. So Monday, I'm going to clear out all the other suggestions, but it also means that if you didn't get a joke from your suggestion today, if you didn't get to type it in, you can go type it in quickly. And when I start writing tomorrow, I won't realize you just added. Okay? Excellent, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you came to watch me in King's Lynn Exchange, and I was brilliant. Thank you, Pollard Gavin. I really hope that I'll be back. I've got a tour planned for 2021. Hopefully, it's half written. I'm hoping it will start in sort of spring 2021, but we know nothing in terms of when pandemics are going to ease, but we hope. We all hope. Okay, let's move on to the next suggestion. Only 2 more suggestions, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, so at Otter King wanted more on protest. Why did he say more on protest? Now, what some of you may not know, some of you might not know, is I did an episode for BBC Radio 4. I was on the summer festival. I did an episode about protests and protesting, and I had a few really funny guests like Russell Kane and Athena Kublenu, and we did an episode about protest, and clearly they enjoyed it. Any of you who have not caught that up, it's all available for free on BBC Sounds. Wherever in the world you are, you can check it out as a podcast. I think it was just Comedy of the Week podcast. If you're not in the UK, please check it out. But anyway, wanted more jokes about protest. I did most of my jokes about protest on that episode, but there were 1 or 2 that didn't make the show. Now, it's possible that they didn't make the show because they weren't very good. So the producer just edited them out. But since you want the deleted scenes, Otter King, I'm going to tell you this, right? I'm going to tell you this. The first thing is that I've noticed that I am too lazy to protest. Right? I used to have the energy to protest. Now I'm too lazy to protest. I just stay in my flat. But when I was young, I used to go and I used to protest. But when you actually think about protesting, it's such a weird way to try and get what you want. So you're upset. You're not getting what you want. So you go stand with a picket outside and you chant. Would this work in other parts of life? Could you be like, my landlord is overcharging me? Could you go outside your landlord's flat with the picket sign which says, half my rent, half my rent, half my rent. What do I want? Half the rent. When do I want it? Now. I don't know if that worked. How could you protest the fact that your girlfriend never gives you blowjobs in this fashion, right? Could you just show up outside her work with a placard which says, I need blowjobs. I do. What do I want? To be sucked. When do I want it? Now. I don't think it would work. I don't think it will work. It is such a bizarre way to try and get what you want achieved, right? Of course, it only works because you've got numbers. One person protesting, not successful, but 50,000 people protesting, probably. If you somehow persuaded 50,000 people to join you outside your girlfriend's office and started chanting, "What do we want? Roll jobs. When does he want it? Now. When did he want it? Now." I am not encouraging this kind of peer pressure, but I think she might just do it to get the 50,000 people to walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what I've got to say about protest. Glad you enjoyed the joke, Ruben. Glad you enjoyed it, Kian. Very good. Good. Glad to have you, all of you who are here. Okay. Older we get, the less motivation we have. So if I don't go to protest, I am getting old. You're very right, Sean. I'm definitely getting old. What's this? Sean A says, I should protest for BJ, but you want to see her reaction to your protest. Actually, you know what she probably would do? She'd probably get a group of her friends and they would chant back, "I want diamonds. When do I want them? Now. I want diamonds. When do you want them? Now." And I would be like, okay, you keep your diamonds. I'll keep the blood up. Okay. Let's keep going with the final joke of the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. It is actually the suggestion from Ahmed Rami. If you enjoyed the jokes, please consider donating, giving me a tip at ko-fi.com/Daliso Chaponda, or any of the links you see if you're seeing me on Facebook or Twitch. It all helps because like most entertainers, I'm performing now for no salary, just dreaming of my shows coming back. It's all very appreciated. If you have no money, don't feel guilty. This is a request to people who have extra money to support comedians of the world, and everybody else who is struggling, I hope I gave you a laugh or two. So we move on to the final joke, and I will also say, if you're any of the people who enjoy watching me game, afterwards at twitch.tv/Daliso Chaponda, I'm going to be on Twitch playing a video game called Hearthstone, and I am also going to be there is a wheel of jokes over there. So it's mostly gaming, but if you cheer, you can get me to tell a joke. Okay, final joke. Ahmed Rami wanted me to talk about Simps. And at first I was like, what's Simps? Is it like short for The Simpsons? I don't know what Simps is. I did a little bit of research, and apparently a simp, it's a term that people use to disparage men. Disparage a man who will do anything to impress a woman. He will do anything to impress a woman, and it's also implied that the women will never give him any of the things he wants. He's just desperate for the love, and he's acting like a simp, right? So, for example, if a woman puts up a post where, you know, she's just, and some guy underneath is like, "Oh, I'll do it." Essentially, it's a very similar term to when you hear men talking about their other mates and they're saying, "Oh, you're whipped. You're pussy whipped, you're whipped, you're whipped." And I always think these terms actually tell you more about the person using the insult than the person who is being insulted, right? Because why are you so bothered, right? Why are you so bothered that somebody is attempting to please a woman, perhaps futilely, right? You don't know he's doing it to get laid, but even if he is, let him go for it, right? Why are people so angry that they're like, "Oh, this person's a simp"? And similarly, when a married person is doing all he can to keep his wife happy, and all his mates are like, "You're pussy whipped," I'm always like, if I'm gonna be whipped by something, if whipping has to be part of the conversation, I think that's what I'm gonna use. That's what I'm gonna choose to be being whipped, right? So I will proudly say that many a time in my life I have been proudly pussy whipped, and I am a simp because I try to keep my women happy around me in my community. And I know it's an insult, but I hold it with pride. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Coronacast Comedy Show for today. I am off for the weekend. I don't do the Coronacast Comedy Show on the weekend. Tomorrow I'm heading down to London in a mask, and I'm going to film a TV pilot in a mask, right? And socially distanced. It will be the oddest panel show I've ever been on. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think actually I'll be masked. I think we'll each have visors, but I still think it will be a very funny visual if it ever gets commissioned. And Sunday I have a Zoom gig, but that's like a private gig for a company. But I'm back with the Coronacast Comedy Show on Monday. Thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in. I'll be back 7 o'clock Monday. Stay safe. Peace. Thank you for popping by. Ciao. End broadcast and end live video.